Good morning. Here I am again. Another early one. I'm out after the roe deer again. It's that time of year. It's right at the end of July, so it's the Roebuck rutting season. So hopefully I'll see some nice Roebucks today. I think it's going to be mainly voiceovers today. I'm not going to better talk too much because it's very hard getting near the roe deer. They're very switched on to sound and movement, so I'm going to have to, it'll be mainly voiceovers I'm guessing today. So I'll put you onto the head cam if I see anything, and hopefully I'll get some roe deer shots this morning. This was one of them times when I was concentrating getting photos of the rabbit and saw something move. And it was a roe deer, but I wasn't quick enough to get any photos of this one, unfortunately. That's what happens sometimes. This morning, we've got a slight wind going in that direction. So what I've done, I've kept to the bottom of the field. I'm going to go to the far end and then work my way back so that the wind is in my face. It's no good going where you think you're going to see the deer and having the wind taking your scent towards them. You need it taking them away. So I'm going to try and get where I think the deer are around there. I'm going to try and get around the back of them. And then the wind will be in the right direction. It'll be in my face. That's the theory. Whether it works or not, we'll find out. Well, I haven't spotted anything in this field. I'll just check my shutter speed in case I see something. I can go up to 640th of a second at the moment. It's like I've made a mistake. I thought I put a fresh battery in the camera last night, but I must have put a dead one. What was that? I think that was a badger. Pretty sure that was a badger. I'm almost certain I saw a badger run across here from down there. There's a good possibility, because I know there's a badger set over there somewhere. No sign of it now though. It's my mates again. Just up here is where I was hoping to see the roe deer. They were where I thought, but I think they were laid down in the undergrowth here, and I just got too near and spooked them, and so off they've gone, barking. Every road here in the nearest mile will know that I'm here now, so I think I got a couple of good shots of that Roebuck though, so I'm just going to head this way, head away from it, and then it might settle down a bit. What I was hoping was this was the field I was hoping to see them in, and the rutting, but it might be better coming of an evening, getting here before they actually come out, and just wait for them to appear. I did get a couple of photos of that Roebuck though, got it barking. I mean, you must have heard that barking on the camera, on the microphone. It's quite a loud one, that. I might be a little bit late because I did get a bit distracted because I saw a badger, and I don't see a lot of badgers in this sort of light, so I had to have a look, see if I could find it. I saw it twice, never managed to get a photo, but it's a sort of opportunity that I can't just give up, because I don't see badgers often. I see road deer a lot more, so I sort of gave up a bit of the road deer time to try and get the badger. See if I got any decent ones of the Roebuck. Yeah, I got it barking there. Quite a nice Roebuck that as well. Yeah, so mission accomplished, I suppose. I didn't really want to spook them like that. I wanted to try and get them rutting, you know, a bit more behavioural shots, but I mean, it's nigh impossible to, if they're in the once they settle down in the undergrowth in the bushes, you know, you're not going to spot them really. I was too close to them before, you know, they were up and away, so, well, I think I was quite quick turning the camera on, so you could see they were quite close. Right, I don't have to be quite as quiet now. I think they'll gone a bit deeper into the woods now to hide, now they know I'm about. I probably look like a hunter with this camera and camo gear on. They probably think I'm trying to shoot them, which I suppose I am really. Shooting with a camera, but they don't know that, do they? Just going to go put the converter on 500mm. Here's my mate again. She's just got a face that says, "Take my photo." Look at that. Very dark round its mouth. It's like it's got a black goatee beard. It's a bit wary that I don't know where the bull is. I know it's in this field somewhere. I think it's a gentle though. I think they are quite a docile breed of cattle. Famous last words. We'll get one with its thistle there as well, and then some yellow flowers in the background. Just gonna have a quick walk up this field. This is the field earlier I saw the badger. Saw it twice, didn't get any photos, but definitely a badger. So I mean, it's nearly 6:45 now, so the sun's been up an hour and a half, so I'm not expecting to see badgers. They'll be tucked up in bed now, but you never know. I think they will have been struggling to feed. Been hard for them digging worms in this hard ground. We haven't had rain for quite a long time, or not a lot, so the ground's still hard, so there's a chance they could still be out if they're hungry. So this is where I saw the badger earlier. It ran across here. I was right down the bottom of the field and I just saw something. I was pretty sure it was a badger, but I was changing camera battery actually. I didn't get a photo of it, and then I did walk up here, and I got to here and I just saw something run across, and it's the only thing it could have been was a badger, just the way it moved. I didn't get a clear view, I just saw movement, but yeah, it wasn't a deer, and I'm pretty sure it wasn't a fox. I'm pretty sure it was a badger. Nothing around now though, which I didn't expect. It's a bit late now. But like I always say, it's in the old grey matter that it's logged. Could be one to come back to next week. I just thought of a quick tip actually. I couldn't say it before when I was taking the photo of the roe deer there. I had to switch to mammal detect. I always have the camera set to bird detect. Even if I think I'm going to see mammals, I'll also have it set to bird detect, because it sounds a bit stupid, but the bird detect will pick up mammals better than the mammal detect will pick up birds. So I'd rather have it set on the bird detect. It does pick up mammals quite good actually, the bird detect. So I have it set on that, and then I have a button on the back of the camera. I have one of my function buttons set, so I can just press that and it'll turn the animal detect on and off, or if I press and hold it and turn the front dial, it switches between the different modes. I don't know what it's like on other cameras, but that's how I have it set up on my OM2. I'm sure other systems will do the same thing. So yeah, it's like I say, you just have to find your own ways of doing things really. Obviously different camera systems will be better at one, than other cameras, and it's just experience really. The best thing you can do is get out and just take plenty of photos, and that's how you learn. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube videos, and some of the stuff that people say, it's take it with a pinch of salt really. It's it's alright if you sat in a hide and the red squirrels and the badgers and the kingfishers are gonna they're gonna turn up and sit right in front of you and ask for the photo to be taken. But it's a bit different when you're doing it like I do, where I'm just going for a walk. I mean, I use my local knowledge. I know sort of where things are, I hope they're going to be, so I'll just turn up and try and get some photos that way. But yeah, so all you can do really is just find your own way of doing things. I mean, you might decide I'm going to go and take photos of kingfishers and go to a paid hide. You would leave it on bird detect then, but what I'm doing now, I just find bird detect's better for walking around, and because it's easy to switch to mammal if you do actually spot something. And the bird detect is quite good at picking it up anyway, so you don't need to worry too much. I will try and give a few tips as I go along. But yeah, it's time to make my way slowly to the cars. A few bit more bird life around. we'll start getting busier soon, because they'll have to start stocking up for winter, so they'll start feeding up a bit. It's been very quiet for the last few weeks, bird-wise, but yeah, I'll start doing a bit more bird photography soon. I spotted this earlier. Bit strange. Why is there a bit of plastic downspout in that cow dung, in the cow pat? Looks like it's been placed there. Strange. Anyone know what answers on a postcard, please? Well, it's 7:30 now, so time to head back to the car. Not a brilliant morning. I got a couple of nice shots. The Roebuck, but no portfolio shots. But yeah, nice morning though. Still, didn't get rained on too much. It just threw a couple of light showers. Get back to the car and have a look on the computer, see if there's any worth editing this time. Like I have mentioned, I'm not going to edit photos on every video. I'm only going to do it if I think I've got something worth editing, really. So yeah, I think I might. One of the Roebuck shots should be quite good. I got it parking, so got a nice morning now. It's clearing up. I always say it's the best time of day now. I've been up for 3 hours, most people are still in bed. I'll go back and have a snooze actually today. But yeah, it's slowly getting a bit later having to get up, you know. It's say sunrise was 5:20 this morning, so it's just every quarter of an hour later every week for the early get up. So yeah. And well, I think it's forecast some warm weather again on the way, but it'll start cooling down eventually. Keep the mosquitoes off me. I've been bit. Take antihistamine when I get home. Stop the itching. But right, I'm nearly back at the car now, so this is me signing off, and I'll see you back in the den. Hi, here I am back in the den. I have decided to edit an image this time. I've got one I think is good enough for editing, one of the Roebuck barking. It's quite a nice image. I've got some other images I'm going to have a look at. I'm just going to discuss noise reduction in DxO, really. Just my thoughts about it. It came up in a forum, well, not a forum, a Facebook page, DxO PhotoLab Facebook page, and people were like discussing the noise reduction. So I just thought I'd sort of share my thoughts with one of these images, and just sort of how I think about noise reduction, really. And I think people can get a bit too sort of carried away with the noise reduction, you know. Is it that important nowadays? It's, you know, I don't think it's worth worrying about too much. I take quite a conservative view on it, really. I just go with the flow. And I just thought I'd show you how what I do with the noise reduction, because I don't really mention it a lot when I'm doing the edits, and that probably just proves that I don't think about it too much. So I'll just go into that in one of the images at the start of the edit anyway, and I'll just give you my points of view. Right, let's get into it. Well, here we are over in PhotoLab. This is the image I'm going to edit, but I'm just going to have a quick discussion about noise reduction in DxO. Well, not in DxO, just noise reduction in general, really. What got me thinking about this was there was someone had asked something on the DxO PhotoLab Facebook page about the denoising settings, and it got me thinking. I don't really sort of mention it too much when I do my edits, because I don't think about it a lot now. I don't think it's worth putting a lot of thought into, really, unless you're printing your images. If you're going to print, that's when I will look more into the details of the denoising and that. But it's like this image. We'll have a quick look on at this this image, and I will just change my settings when I'm looking at this. I usually work, well, that's one thing, I don't even have the D prime rendering turned on when I'm editing my images, because it slows the machine down, and I don't think you really need it, but I will turn it on just to show you sort of when I try and explain my thoughts, really. So this image, it's ISO 6400 on a Micro Four Thirds camera. It's the OM1 Mark II. So I'll just turn the denoising off altogether, and I'll just go in at 100%. And you can just see sort of what it's like. There's quite a lot of noise in there. There's a bit of colour noise as well. That's we no noise reduction at all. If I turn the noise reduction on, the standard denoising makes quite a good job actually, and this is sort of what I'm looking at when I'm editing, because I don't have the deep prime turned on, so it'd be the standard sort of edit denoise that I'd be looking at when I'm editing, and I find that's good enough. What I do, I use the loop to see what deep prime's doing when I have it turned on, because I always have deep prime 3 turned on when the images come into DxO. So I'll just show you, if I'll make that one the reference image, and then I've created a virtual copy of that image. We'll just go into 100%. So on this image, deep prime's turned on. I'll just do, so you can see the big difference that the deep prime is making. If you look, this is the deep prime with deep prime turned on. This is without. That's just standard denoising. So yeah, it does make a difference, and well, I was going to say 9 times out of 10 it's more than that. I just use deep prime. The only time I'd look at, if I was making a print of this image, I might go into XD, use XD, because it might make a bit of a difference. So what I'll do, I'll just turn on, I'll make the original image, and I'll just put that as deep prime. That's deep prime 3 now, and then this image on the right, I'll put them as XD, and let's just see if we can see a lot of difference. This is at 100%. So yeah, there is a difference, definitely. The XD3 does make a difference. But how I look at it, and I think it's only if I'm going to export that image for printing, I don't see why I need to see that level of detail when I'm editing, really. I do a bit of selective sharpening with the I'll show you that in the image I am gonna edit, but I mean, I just can't see why would you want your image to look like that unless you are actually going to print the image, or it's social media and that it's not going to matter that much. So a lot of the time I will just work with deep prime. I'll just have my images, I'll just use deep prime, and then it's only in exceptional circumstance, like if I'm printing, let's say if I was printing that image, I would go into much more detail of the noise reduction and everything, but 9 times out of 10, even more than that, you're just sharing images on social media, so it doesn't really matter that much. It's not gonna make any difference on Facebook what them images look like. I mean, I'm a photographer. I give up pixel peeping a long time ago. It's I think people do get carried away with, they'll be comparing the Lightroom noise reduction to the DxO noise reduction, and and you think, well, what are you actually doing with the images? Does it really matter that much? That's just my thoughts. I mean, that's why I don't really mention the noise reduction now. I just leave it on deep prime, and when I'm editing, that's good enough for me. I'll just edit with, I'll just have it on deep prime when I'm editing. So that's just my penny's worth, really, and not everyone will agree. I mean, some people just might want to have the images. I mean, I don't export my images unless I am printing or sending them to the newspaper, or I'm sharing them on Facebook. I mean, I don't see why you need to export. I just keep the raw images, and you can change the settings. I mean, I go back, I've got images from years ago, and I'll go back and think, why did I edit it like that? You know, and I'll do little tweaks to it, you know, when I go back and look at images. So I never sort of do, I'd never export that. That'll just sit on my hard drive as a raw file, and I'll only export it as a TIFF if I want to print it, or I have exported it to actually show on the video. But yeah, so they're just my thoughts really. So right, now let's get into the editing. So this is the image I'm going to edit. It's the roe deer barking image that I got in the video. I'm just going to go in and check, just make sure. I'll just turn the enable deep prime off, because it does slow the machine down a little bit. I don't see why I need to have that on when I'm editing. What I'll do is, I mean, I have checked to make sure this image is sharp when I'm doing the culling, but if you want to sort of check, you can just use the loop, and that'll show you what the deep prime's doing as well. If you see outside, the deep prime's not, that'll just show in the standard denoising now when you don't have the deep prime enabled in the menu there. But this is actually, I'll just go 1 to 1. So whether you can see that, if you can just see there's a little bit of noise still with the standard denoising on, but the deep prime's got rid of that. I mean, if I was printing this image, I probably would go and use the XD3, but you know, I'm probably not going to print this, so I'd only do that, go into the deep prime XD3 if I thought it needed it, if I was going to do a print. So I'll just work with it now with deep prime 3. And it's not even turned on really, because I have to use a loop to see what deep prime 3 is doing. So right, so here we go. Not a lot that needs doing with this image. I mean, when it comes to the actual lighting, it's quite good, quite light. I'll just see what the smart lighting is going to do for me. It's lighting it up slightly, but I'm just going to leave it at that. So very little needs doing. I'll just see if if on the luma curve, if I do any, I might just bring the white points up a bit in the dark. It just adds a little bit of contrast there. But too much there in the dark, something like that. And colour wise, I'm quite happy with the white balance. Yeah, that looks fine. So I'm just going to go straight into the local adjustments. This is where I'm going to use my preset. I've got the preset set up for the animal and background, so I might as well just use a preset. It just makes things quicker. So I've got it's 3200, I think it was taken at. Yeah, ISO 3200, which is up here. So I class that as a low ISO. So I've got an animal AI. So if I apply that preset, when I go back into here, so we've got an animal AI mask. I've already got a little bit of sharpening applied to that mask, and the background I've done the opposite. I've negative mica contrast and that. So I've shown how this video that I've shown what I do on these AI masks for my wildlife images. I'm going to add another mask here. I'm going to just add my gradient filter. I'm just going to darken this foreground a little bit, not a lot. I'll just knock the exposure down, maybe the highlights, just to on the animal, because I've got that mask created now with the on the preset. I can just lift the shadows slightly, and then I'm going to go into the background mask, and I'm just going to darken that ever so slightly. Not a lot. I'll just knock the highlights down. I do have -5 on the highlights on the preset that I have, but I'm just going to knock it down even more. So I'd say we're close to finished on that image. So if I just close that down, I'm happy with that. I'm happy with that image. Just having a quick look. Maybe just brighten it slightly with the mid-tones. And that is fine. That's as far as I'd go with that image. Unless, like I say, I was going to print it or something, then I would. But I mean, I'm not exporting that anywhere. The only time I'd export that now is if I want to show it on Facebook. I've got a Facebook export set up that resizes the image, and you know, it's I'd export it for social media, or I would do more work on it and export as a TIFF to put into me printing software. I use Epsom, so do that. I just thought I'll show this as well. Now I've actually edited that image, I've got a couple more of the deer images. So if I can, I'll say image, and I'll copy the correction settings from that image. And now if I highlight these two images, and I can paste the correction settings, all the correction settings from the original image with the deer barking, and paste them settings onto the other images. Let's see what that's done. So if I just go onto that image, you'll better see all them settings that I did on that image are now over onto there. So we've got the animal mask, the background mask, and even the gradient mask for the foreground here. And you can work on these again. I can, if I wanted to, that's a bit high now, because that's, just drag that down a little bit, and I'd probably do a little bit of a crop on this image. It's just not quite like the yellow flowers there. So what I might even do on these, you can just see the other road, the deer's there, you can see that leg, so I'd take that over so you can't see that leg. But because I've already done a lot of the work on that image, you can just paste on the original image, you can paste them onto these other images, so it just makes your workflow so fast. Same again with that image, you know, it's straight. I haven't done anything, all I've done is paste my corrections from the original, the first image that I worked on, onto this image. And if I do if I do the right thing, if I compare no correction with geometry, so if I click on there, so just with copy and pasting them settings, I've gone from that to that with very little effort. So you can get a really speedy workflow using the correction settings and pasting if you've got similar images like that. So there we have it. I mean, even the other things you could do, when I was looking at this one, I quite like the flowers. So maybe if I wanted to and add some more flowers, I could use the repair tool, but you can use it as a sort of a copy thing. Where can I get some flowers from? If I say I want some flowers in that area there, and I can just paste them from maybe over here. And it's just adding some more flowers there just to fill that space. I mean, it's not done a brilliant job. That you do have to sort of play with it a little bit, maybe turn the opacity down on them a little bit just to feather it a bit more. But yeah, there is things you can do. That's not too bad now. Basically, it's just sort of thinking of, what do I want to do, and is there a tool on here that we can do? I mean, a lot of people think, all right, you can do that better in Photoshop, but it's took me 10 seconds to add some flowers there, and Right, so there we have it. Like I say, it's the photography is the more important thing for me. The editing, you know, it's part of the workflow. You have to do it, but I don't sort of edit every image like it's, you know, I'll spend as little time as I can on an image really. So I'm not going to start tweaking the noise reduction settings on every image. I don't think that you need to unless you are actually going to print. So right, I think that's about it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget I have got a discount code for DxO products. That's Steve Mill 15, get 15% off. Right, thanks for watching, and until next time.